is ones who are disrespectful to you. Now, I know for some of you, it's like, oh, that's a no-brainer. We all know that, right? Again, it's not always that simple for a lot of people. Unfortunately, society is becoming more and more toxic to where I think on one end, there is a portion of society that's become more easily offended, but there's also a portion of society that lets things slide or is normalizing toxic behavior. Okay. And so in normalizing a lot of toxic behavior, very disrespectful acts are being overlooked and made excuses for. Okay. And so I think that when some people think disrespect, they're thinking different things. Disrespect to some might be how you talk to that person. All right. So how that man talks to you, if he calls you out your name. And for some people, here's the thing. If you come from an area where a man calling his woman the B word, right? That's my B, is acceptable. Well, that person won't see it as disrespect. Whereas someone else looks at that and be like, oh, hell no, there's no way I'm going to let a man call me that. And it's going to be a problem for her. And that's why you see so many differences in what is accepted or not. But I'm not going to get into what I think should be disrespectful. I want to focus on what you know, what you feel is disrespectful to you. Okay? Because your feelings do matter. And again, we all have different perceptions of what will qualify as disrespect. I think the one thing that we can all agree on is verbal and physical abuse, flat out abuse, right? I think we're on the same page with that. And real quick, if any of you watching this are going through that, please know there is help that you can get out there. Go to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. I'm going to make sure the number gets thrown on the screen so you can call them and get assistance. All right. Do not think this is okay, but I understand there are many women in those positions who struggle to walk away. I don't want you to feel shame. I don't want you to beat yourself up, but I want to encourage you to take a step in the right direction of trying to seek some assistance. Okay. But outside of that, again, because there's varying perceptions of what is disrespect, it may sound crazy to think that you have to talk to someone about it. But again, you don't know what they're accustomed to and what they think is normal. Once it's been discussed and you've established, I don't appreciate this kind of behavior. This behavior to me is disrespectful or something that and it's not even about whether it's disrespectful or not. You don't like it. I think sometimes there's these arguments that happen amongst couples or people who are dating because they're trying to make the offense fit into the label that they want to put on it. So it's almost like you're trying to tell this man, well, this is disrespectful to me. And he's like, well, I don't see that as disrespect. I'm not trying to disrespect you. Okay, let's remove the disrespect label. At the end of the day, you don't like it. Call it what you want, disrespect or whatever. You don't like it. And if he continues it, it's going to continue to have a negative impact on you and the relationship. So you have to convey that to him like, listen, this is not acceptable. Now, if he is willing to correct it again, because he may just have had a misunderstanding. But if he does not, you can't let it continue to happen and then just complain about why this man acts this way. He acts this way because you are tolerating it. All right. One, because he's an unhealthy man, because he's a toxic man who has issues he needs to address, but he will take out his toxicness on you because you allow it, because you remain there. And it is up to you to say enough is enough. I'm walking away. What I want you all to understand is you cannot, and that's kind of the underlying premise of this video is you cannot wait for people to do right by you. You can't say, okay, well, why can't he just get it together and think if I stay long enough that he'll finally magically get it together? No, you have to establish what is acceptable and what is not. And if he does not meet those standards after you have properly addressed them, it's done. It's done. There's nothing to talk about after that. Now, real quick, one thing I want to throw in there before I move on to the next point that is hitting my spirit, one of those moments. So it's the whole social media thing. All right. The whole liking pictures and all that and commenting on people's posts and all that. Listen, I'm not here to discuss or argue what should be acceptable or not. I'm simply here to say that I've seen this become a point of, there's a lot of tension has been created in a lot of relationships because of this, all right? And again, I can tell you that, listen, my position, it's not worth it to wreak havoc in my relationship because I want to like a picture. So to me, if it's bothering my woman to like, I'm not going to like nobody's picture. That's me. But there are people who would argue it's not a big deal. Why, people are insecure. They have a problem with it. Again, I'm not here in this video, we're not going to discuss that deeper. What I am going to say is you need to establish in your relationship what is proper social media etiquette for you. All right? As early as possible. Okay? Have a talk about it, because in today's world, it's probably going to come up somewhere, somehow. If you don't have a discussion about it, it may be one day you're online, you're on your man's profile or the guy you're dating's profile, and you see a like or a comment, and now you feel some kind of way. But y'all never had to talk about this. And because this is such normal behavior for so many people, when I mean normal behavior, the action of liking or commenting, there are many people who really believe it's not a big deal. So talk about these things so that it doesn't become this huge issue later that just gets super messy, all right? Nip it in the bud as quickly as possible.